Okay, people. Do you remember that? We were looking for owls. There's the green belt. The year Shimei died in 2018, a woman was murdered in there. Had her eyes gouged out. Kind of like Janice Shore. Up by Kentucky Fried Chicken. Do you see what they're doing here, people? These trucks, they come rolling by. It's 6:30 and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Rattling back and forth all day long. This is what they're doing. They're building a high-rise.
Hey, you want to come?
You can't go in there, unfortunately. But do you see? This is protecting trees, right? All the trees, everything got tore down in here. Well, they did leave the weeping willow, though. If you notice that, they're working around it. So, they did leave the weeping willow. Hold on. Okay. So I just want you to notice these for sale signs. Business as usual on this street. Right. Every year, 5 times a year. Same houses, 3 to 4 times a year selling. I thought that was not legal, but it seems to be. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're moving on to the other street. Right? And what they do is they, what they do, people, is they, what do you call it? This is how they jack up the property prices. And then, after a while, nobody's buying. And because nobody's buying, because the prices are too high, right? Then, they go to the city and they put an application in to start tearing down these homes after they've made $25 million off of them in the last 7 years. Because I've been going up and down this street for how many years with those same signs, with the same houses? Right? You don't miss a day because they're always out there, right? Sometimes they have 10 of them out there at one time. But that's what they do. Then they go to the city and they say nobody wants to pay $2 million for this house. You know, oh, woe is me, boo-hoo-hoo. You know, we want a permit to start tearing down the house so we can build something else so that maybe somebody can afford to buy a condo for $700,000 versus a home for $2 million. That's the scam, as they're still running fentanyl money, laundered fentanyl money at the expense of young women like Shimei. At the expense of young women like Shimei. Oh, hold on a minute. Dying to pay for the corruption that goes on in this province. I'm looking for apples. Hold on a minute. So you see? There's another one. Right? The whole fucking block. And what's happening is it's people from China, places like that, that are buying this stuff. And then after they overinflate the property prices, like I said, they go to the city, they put a proposal in, right? And the reason I'm doing this video today is because these trees that, you know, I'm sure as an individual, that city dude, here, let's go see what's going on here. I'm sure as an individual, that city dude cares about the walnut tree, but on the same breath, people, on the same breath, these trees, they just represent money. That's all it is. You know, if they cut down a tree, the city can go and fine them $10,000 plus for cutting down a little old walnut tree, right? Because this is what they're trying to do now. So, like, my days are numbered in my house, like, seriously. Hold on. Okay, so this is why I brought out the camera, because Andre and I, remember he wanted those blackberries, people? Anyway, you see this little house right here? There's an old man miser that lives there. He's a miser, right? Because we came by yesterday and we wanted to go to the, pick blackberries, right? The plums aren't ready. Old man miser. Look at this. We had to go cut through the fence here and come out from over there, and he was outside, and I said, I'm just gonna, cut through the fence and go over there to the pear tree because there's blackberries over there. He says, you can't. I said, what do you mean you can't? I said, you know me. I've been out here every year with my grandson. He swings off the, what is it called? Off of that,
Thing?
no, off of the horse chestnut tree over there, right? I've taken Andre there many times, people, right? We've picked blackberries here before, right? Pear tree is over there. So anyway, he said, oh, no, you can't go in there. See, we were just going to go over there and pick blackberries. I didn't really want the blackberries. I told Andre I didn't really want blackberries. But, anytime a little boy can get some greenery in his life, run through the field, it's a good thing, right?
And don't forget, I like to climb that tree.
Yeah, and he wouldn't let us come in here. And I told him, I said, you're just an old man, miser. Like a miser, I said, what, are you going to take it with you? I said, what, you own this property? Because he goes, oh, new property owners. I said, new property owners? I said, what, you? He goes, yeah, me. I said, yeah, okay, sure, buddy. And if you are, you're a fucking miser. This is that maple tree, and those little oak trees are over there. I'm telling you, people, this is just going to be tore down. And this is what I mean. Look at these beautiful trees. The only reason the city is protecting these trees, people, is because when it comes time to cut them down, they're gonna make money. That's it. That's what it is. You're just gonna make money cutting down the fucking trees. So if you go off and you cut the tree down yourself and you don't get your little permit, right? And the city finds out, they're gonna come after you and they're gonna charge you $10,000 plus for cutting down a tree, because they know that it's just a matter of time before that property is sold. And however they wheel and deal with their applications to build houses, tear down houses, build apartment buildings after they tore down the house, right? They're gonna make money. They're protecting trees to make money, not to protect the tree. They're protecting the trees to make money, and not because they're trying to protect the trees. And that field over there is the perfect example, because that field over there used to look like that field over there where the walnut trees were, where they cut down over 120 trees in less than 4 days, people. 120 trees. And more yet than that. It's just so much bullshit. And now they're promoting potential for land assembly. So let's run more fentanyl through the province of British Columbia, kill off more young people, blame them for their deaths, right? As the people that are bringing in the fentanyl and running it through the streets. And I'm not talking about the petty dealers, although the Julians that go around murdering people should go to jail, but so should the ones that actually bring the shit into the province and flood the streets with it. Look, 120 trees cut down, people. That lot I just showed you where that old man miser is saying, don't little boy go in there and pick blackberries, because he wants to be sitting up in his house with his pension plan. He's all by himself. He sits with his pension plan, probably government pension plan, right? Thinking he's all that in a bag of chips because he owns the fucking house, right? And he's turned into some old man miser. He's the one that's going to end up in the hospital, dubbed confused, Just a matter of time, right? As his, what do you call it? If he has daughters and sons, they'll be, oh yeah, Dad's confused. Keep him in. You know, like Eleanor, keep him locked up. You know, he's confused. I'm taking over his bank account. I'm taking over his property. I'm taking over all those trees and the field because I've already cut a deal with the city. We're taking it all over. And he's just gonna get locked up, people. And I told him, you can't take those trees with you. You can't take those blackberries with you. He goes, well, neither, like when you die, right? And he says, well, neither can you. I said, you're right, I can't take them. But I can give my grandson a few memories in this hellhole of a city that I fucking live in. And I can't escape. See, that's the thing. I can't leave people because I'm bound by the court to stay here, even though I really got no place to live outside of what my landlords have been doing for me, right, for now. And even then, I don't know where I'm going to be in another couple of years from now, but you can see what's happening. It's just a matter of time before this here is all torn down, right? These trees will be torn down, even though we're being told they're protected, right? And it's just stupid. Stupid. On the other street over there, down that way, is those 10 houses through that land assembly being sold by the same realtor over and over and over again. That's why when my landlady says she wants $2 million for her house, she's not kidding, because down the road, that's what they're trying to sell them at. And in another year and a half from now, my landlady will get $2.2 million for this place, as I'm being pushed out with nowhere to go. And I can't even take my grandson to go pick blackberries in an open field that in the next couple of 2-3 years or whatever it is just going to be ripped apart and going to end up look like that field down there with a big fucking high-rise on it. Andre, where are we going? Why? Hold on a minute. Okay. Honestly, I don't even know what day it is in terms of date. It's Friday, August, maybe the 16th. Do you see this? This thing is almost as tall as me, people. Like, seriously. My head is maybe up there. Like, this is what I transplanted. You can see, I put it in that pot. It's not going to be very happy in there for very long. It doesn't look like it went into too much shock, considering everything I did to get it out of the pot, because that's the one that had the big gnarly root, right? And then I transplanted this one, you can see. All right. I left this one, right? I'm going to end up taking out this oak and putting it into a different pot. And then I transplanted this one, it should be in a bigger pot, but anyway, I put that there, and you can see that one's quite tall, right? Because I cleared out in here. You can see what I've done. And then apparently it's gonna rain tomorrow, right? And then I transplanted this one. This is healthy. It likes it here. I transplanted these. Nobody seems to be in any shock. So hopefully they'll survive and take root. It would be really nice if I could have weeping willow growing too, right? So hold on a minute. Okay, so basically fertile myrtle in the back there. Flirty fertile myrtle. This is the berries from that. And I'm still getting raspberries. That's how whacked the weather has been. Right. Anyway, this is my last time. I'm going to be making jello with some of this. Right? And then over the weekend, hold on a minute. Okay. My landlady gave me some figs. Fresh ones over there too. Eating figs. So, I just wanted to show what was going on down the road over here. And in that field where they're building that high-rise, well, 2 people were murdered in there. I have a video on that, talking about it. And right across the street in the ravine, last year in the summertime, a lot of people thought it was Sierra who got murdered in there. It was a woman. Shimei in her house got murdered, people. That's 4 people that I know. Well, Wesley too, over there. But only he didn't get murdered over there. He got murdered in a gas station. Then he went home, back to the little house. Then he went to the hospital and died. So that's 5 people that I'm aware of that have been murdered in like less than 100 feet from me. In circumference. 100, 200 feet. It's like common. It's like a common thing these days. Nobody does shit about it. The ones in the field were shot. I heard the gunshots. I was going to call the cops. But I thought wherever it was coming, the people closer to there would have called. And nobody called. And then I found out a week and a half later or whatever it was that 2 people were shot and murdered in that field. I was in my sewing room. It was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. All right. So, anyway, that old man miser over there, you know, he's going to be a sitting duck like Uncle John. Seriously. If he has kids, they're just waiting for him to get him something. And he'll go to the hospital. And because everybody wants his property, and chances are that kids want the money, assuming that he has kids, I don't know. He seems like an old miser. He's always been cranky. He's never really been friendly. He gave me some flowers 2 years ago. Because I asked him if I could have a few, right? Because they spread out. He didn't give me the ones I wanted, though. He gave me something else, but okay. I don't know. It's real sad, though, people, because I think if the city of Surrey is protecting trees, it's only because they want the money. It's not because they're protecting trees, people. They just approved another 50,000 trees to be cut down in and around Surrey. And this mayor, he's an old mayor. He used to be a mayor 10 years ago. And anyway, when he was like running for election, he was talking about how he was going to slow down with the building of these monster homes. But he didn't do any of that. He's cutting down another 50,000 trees. As the city is driving around looking for people that are illegally cutting trees so they can get their $10,000 or whatever it is in fines. And then, on the other hand, that property with those blackberries and the maple tree and the pear tree, well, it's just a matter of time before it's all cut down. Because they're already starting with potential for land assembly on that side of the road. It's already done on that side. Those people are running a scam. Right? Those are the things that are running the fentanyl through the province. These land assemblies. Yeah. Out of 1,500 people, and a bit more than 1,500, that died from fentanyl in 2015, out of 4.6 or 8 million people or whatever it was in 2018, she had to be one of them who was murdered. And nobody does anything about it. They didn't do anything about that woman being murdered over there, the woman being murdered over there, those two men being murdered over there. I highly doubt they caught up with whoever murdered Wesley. And even when it's right in their face, they ignore it. Because Shimei was worth more dead than alive. So I'm thoroughly 100% disgusted, people, with life right now in general. Andre in foster care. Shimei when she was younger. Shimei's dad. It's a rapper. Not that dude. The other one. That's Shimei.
Hi.
That was Shimei and Sierra.
Good girl. That's
Right?
a good girl. That's a good girl.
My kids used to be so happy, people. Until the BC Liberal government came in, brought methamphetamine into the province of British Columbia, Canada, and started attacking vulnerable families, beginning with my family. And it's just been one big sell-off ever since.